not really very good. There you go, asbestos. I'm literally able just to peel that off with my screwdriver. Wow! It's just a fire waiting to happen. Hello, and welcome back to Artisan Electrics. It's part 2 of the video series. We're actually, believe it or not, from all the countryside, we're actually out in central London, beautiful part of the city. We're working in quite a big property. As you saw from part 1, it's complicated. I don't even know how to describe the job. We came to do an EICR. We have 3 days allowed. So originally, day 1 was EICR, day 2 was board change, day 3 was car charger. It's not worked out at all like that. I've just seen a lot of stuff which is not ideal. Basically, as soon as I arrived at the job, I called Jordan and I just said, look, I think this property, I don't think we want to touch it. I don't think you want to put your name to it unless you're rewiring it. And especially when you see VIR cable, the customer, for his own reasons, it's not going to happen. This house is not going to be rewired. So we had 2 options. It was either walk away from the job and leave it, which is fine. We've got plenty of other work we could go on to, or try and make it safer than how we've seen it and how we've found it. So it's sort of that professional obligation is saying, don't put your name to anything that's not perfect. But then there's the moral obligation, which is like, it's going to have all of that old wiring, except it will be on old rewirable fuses, and it's going to be even more dangerous. So we just thought, you know what, we're just going to do what we can in the 3 days we've got allowed to make it safer. So we started swapping the consumer units over yesterday. They're going well. We've started pulling out all the VIR cable that I can find. I'm literally pulling down every pendant, every fitting. VIR, for any of our international viewers, is like a vulcanized rubber cable that we use in the UK. I'm not sure how far abroad it got, but it breaks down really poorly over time. The cable deteriorates and does not age very well. So I'm trying to find as much of that as I can, and every leg of that we will remove, because it has been rewired, I reckon probably 40, 50 years ago, but that has obviously missed the rewire. We're still getting the charger installed because he's got his Tesla. I'm not too worried about that really, because it's a brand new circuit from the consumer unit. So today we're just going to be, I want to finish both the consumer units, get them all sealed up nice. I want to go through, finish all the little snaggy bits, keep searching for any bad legs. We're going to do loads and loads of testing, and then tomorrow I'm hoping should be a fairly straightforward day of just testing. But as always, thank you for watching and I hope you enjoy. Yeah, so this is the aluminium stranded. Is it aluminium stranded or is it tinned copper? It might actually be tinned copper. So that means that the other circuit in there is the vanity unit heater, which, to be honest, I don't really want to power back up because there's no local isolation for it. It's kind of within zone as well. I'm just not a fan of it. And the customer said he's not really ever used it in his memory. Do you know what? I'm going to disconnect that one. Tuck it behind the old consumer unit, label it up, and if they ever want it, they can have it. I don't even want to take it apart really. 750 watts. The lamp's blown, so it wasn't working anyway. Right, we'll disconnect that. The tool of the day today is this bad boy. As everyone knows that watches the channel, I do love a bit of carpentry, a bit of hobbyist carpentry. This is actually John's tool, which he's just introduced to me. I've seen it advertised on Instagram, but I've never actually used it, and I've just tried it, and it's absolutely awesome. I usually scribe with other scribing tools, or just like a washer, even a penny washer, as you've probably seen. Whereas this, you just loosen off that clip, like that, push it all out, because I want to scribe the trunking around this skirting board. So what you do then, you just push that on, like so. Get it on, lock it. So that's got the skirting board then, locked. And then you can just offer that up to there. Grab the old Milwaukee marker. And then just there we go. There's the skirting board shape, ready to cut out and stick on. So I'll get John to chop that for us. I feel like I'm on Blue Peter. I love it. That is so cool. I really like that. I just want to scribe things now. Should we see if it will scribe me? Oh wow, that is a big bottom lip. Look at the bottom lip. That could be sold as art, that. I call it L bottom lip. Wow. Alright, I'll give you Jordan's Q-Tech tester last chopper. a little socket. Do you see any sense to that? Oh man, I'm going to be lame and read the instruction manual. Oh, that's pretty cool actually. That's what that flips onto. Got ya. That screws onto there, and then that fixes to the wall somehow. Oh cool, and then the cable wraps around that. That's not bad actually.
Welcome to John's classroom. Cory doesn't have a level long enough for this, so I'm going to use my brain. That's it. Nice. Works a treat. Only joking. This is the real one.
Basically, I powered up the lighting circuit and I'm just now trying to figure out what works and what doesn't. Fortunately, we've got quite a few lights that are actually on. So we've got these ones on. We've got most of upstairs. This side of the built house seems to not want to come on. So that light there is not on. So that must have been on that old VIR cable, which is great. These ones here come on, the tracks, but then that chandelier didn't come on. That must have been on the VIR cable. What about in here? What have we got in here? We got nothing in here. Ah, that's not good, is it? Right, well that's not good. That's like half the house pretty much. It's annoying because all the drops are in this slightly newer cable. So you would presume, wouldn't you, that it's, you know, wired throughout like that. But it's obviously not. You obviously got VIR feeds, probably junction boxes, I reckon, because the pendants, the points have newer cables and the switches have newer cables. So there must be a junction box somewhere where VIR cable is feeding it, which I've cut out. So that's really annoying. I'm not really sure what we do about that. We'll just have to find a new route to it, basically. That's our only choice. Haven't really got much choice other than that. Take some fittings down, start making some plans. Just setting up the Ohmi charger, and I've got to say, I actually quite like it. It's actually quite a nice charger. I don't know if it's from America. I think they're from Ireland, but that's American colours, isn't it? Ireland uses BSEN colours, but that's American, where you've got black for hot, white for neutral, and green for ground. Because I think they're made in Ireland. Ireland uses the same regs as us. Well, their own better, I actually think Irish regs are better quality than BS 7671, but based off the same European norms of brown, blue and green, yellow. But yeah, it's quite a tidy little charger. I think what we'll do is cleat it up there, have it go into a whisker box and have that come round and go into a whisker box there. I like this, it's nice. So I'm just finishing up this little cupboard. He said he's going to paint this wall, so I thought I'd just do him a little favour and fill some of the old holes for him where we've not got cables or boxes in there anymore. It's a heck of a lot better in here than what it was. About 25,000 less consumer units in here for a start. Travelodge just asked for a survey for our stay in Northampton. I've just done a ZE test and the ZE was extremely high before, but I thought it was because the earth strap was so bad. The actual earth strap itself was, well, basically just falling off before. So I thought, oh well, that's why the ZE is so high. So I've polished it right back, sanded it back to fresh lead, and yeah, it's still a really bad earth reading. I'm getting like 5 when really it should be below 0.8 for TNS. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ring up UK Power Networks, because what I'm not sure about is I'm not sure whether or not they actually provided that as a proper connection for us to use, or whether or not it's so old, because the property is so old, that actually they expect us to use our own and just TT it, which I won't be surprised if that's what they suggest. So I don't know whether or not we can supplement it with an earth rod, or even just separate entirely and just have it as a TT system, or ask them to come and combine the neutral, do a TN set, do like connect us onto a PME system. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ring their emergency line number and just say, you know, I'm on the job, I've got a really high ZE. Also, your main head and meter are slightly wonky. Would you mind straightening that up for us? It's an emergency because we need to take a picture for Instagram and it's wonky. So I'm going to see what they suggest, whether or not they'll send a technician out to come and straighten it up for us. It'll be interesting as well to see if they tell us off for cutting the meter tails. Sorry, for the meter tail seals falling off. So I've just spoken to UK Power Networks. I've rung them. They said for earthing issues, it's 10 working days. Obviously, they're not that bothered, or they're super busy. I'm not sure. But either way, they're really nice, actually, the lady I spoke to on the phone. In the meantime, I guess we just have to wait for them to come out and see what their suggestion is. I probably would prefer that they made it a PME. I'd just rather that they're responsible for the earth rather than the customer, because that means then that we have to maintain it, or the customer will have to maintain it, and you know, what a customer is even going to know what earthing system they have. So it's better that it belongs to the DNO, so that every time they come out and check the meter or whatever, they can have a look and verify that the TNS or the TNCS is in good nick. So that's my preference, but I'm going to see what they suggest when they come out. So anyway, that's one hurdle over. Now on to the nightmare of the VIR. Right, so Johnny has shown us a tip today. I'm going to show you a tip as well. I'm going to show Johnny a tip, a little skill swap. It's so basic, you've probably all seen it 100,000 times, but I'm going to do it anyway. Rather than taping your fish tape, just getting a bit of Copex. I might have cut this a little bit too short actually, and just fishing it through there, and it just keeps it neater than taping it, I find.
Look.
Okay, I might need bigger Copex.
Yeah.
This is a massive.
I was going to say, look how long it is.
This is a massive fish tape, flipping it.
Yeah.
Take back my opinion from part one. That was talking about the Yorkie standard. I did not know that there was a biscuit. It's perfect. You can't beat that. That is the best biscuit that money can buy. That's up there with the hobnobs. Outstanding. They've done a superb job. Yorkie, I tip my hat to you, mate. So I have just discovered that the OMI device, I've never installed one before, the OMI device doesn't actually have pen fault protection, which is kind of annoying because we've got it all nice and neat and finished. So we're going to take it out and install this Viridian device, which basically is just a pen fault protection device. I wanted to use the Gary one, but I think we've already got that dibsed out on another job. I'm not at all a fan of these Viridian ones. They're just too tight to work with. It's just a BG board with a contactor in it basically. We'll get that one installed there and start again. This is an electrician's first reaction. CEO goes straight. So you just bend it and you just put that down. I've not done that very well, but it should do.
No way.
Yeah. I've not actually sliced it very well, but yeah, that's it.
That is brilliant. I like that. That is good.
It's got the little conductors there, but I never use it.
I've never done that.
It's got a small one on the other side as well. That's it, just one turn.
And where'd you slice it with this?
Just that, yeah.
This thing here?
Yeah. You have to close it. That's it.
Oh, right.
And pull it off. Oh, just chuck it on the floor, yeah.
So,
Armoured cables. How cool is that?
let me see that.
And you got a little one the other end.
Jordan, thank you so much for this present. That is brilliant. I will swap you.
I'll swap that for the Sakator. Actually, no, that's about 50 quid. The Sakator's about 10 quid.
How much is this?
Probably about 50 quid or something. Right, so we've got the Viridian device on, and now I'm just trying to figure out what's going where with those switches in there, because there's some VIR cable in there which I don't want to use, so I'm just trying to find them and pull them out. Right, John, I'm going to pull this one here back. That now is our feed in from the board. But let's just use this switch as a neutral. We'll use the black as a neutral, and we'll use one of the blacks as an earth as well, actually, and then we'll just keep that as a spare draw wire. I'm looking for, that, where the VIR cable comes out. Yeah, I can see it, yeah. Right, so you can see that cable there, that's VIR. So that is the vulcanised rubber, I think. Let me just get closer to it. It's actually really hard to see because it's just painted. No, it is, yeah. So I'm hoping that that is the one there coming down from that switch. But I'll be honest, it's really hard to tell where anything is going and what anything is doing because I can't actually see. I want to climb up there. Yeah, so that one goes over to that. Oh, do you know what? I think we might be really fortunate there. So this one is fed from the VIR cable, insulation. I can pull that off with my fingers. That could be the one going down. And then this one here, clipped across the ceiling, goes over to there. That first light fitting, that actually comes straight from the board. Yes, I think that's how they might have done it. Sorry, I'm thinking on my feet here. I think it goes from the board to there. From there, out, switch line, down to there. No. I haven't got a clue. Oh my goodness, look how old that is. Let me go over there. So I can't take down that ceiling in there because it's popcorn, like polystyrene ceiling that's all glued up. But through there, I can just about see a ceiling rose, which is completely and utterly inaccessible. So it's Just madness that. Like, how on earth is anyone ever going to get to that to make a repair? This job is very, very stressful. I really, really want to get this guy's lights on for him, ideally tonight, but it's just not going to happen. There's no way I can reconnect that. Even just pulling the switch off earlier, it just crumbled in my hands. And it's not like I can easily get to anything to rewire it because it's riddled with asbestos over there, I think. I'm going to send it to my friend to ask him. Popcorn ceilings, parquet and vinyl floors. Very challenging. I'm having a bit of a change of approach. I'm going to try and start having a look at how easy it would be just to rewire sections. Maybe just roll back some of the carpet up here, because this isn't too bad. You can hear its floorboards. Like, look, you can see that lifting. They've already got loose boards here. The boards are running that way, so the joists are probably running that way. So that's good, because it means we can get between rooms easily. We just need to roll back the carpet that way a bit, run between rooms, and then we might just have to rewire those legs. Maybe even use kinetic switches, so we don't have to do any switch drops. Literally find anything up here that's live, bounce the feeds around, even just fuse spur, whatever. Just get a 5 amp feed to these points, and then use kinetic switches to get back down to the switch drops. I think that's what we might have to do, because thing is, you have to be able to walk away from a job and sleep at night, and when you know that you're reconnecting up old tut with VIR that you're disturbing and fiddling around with, it's not fun. So yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. We've made it safer, start looking at rewiring what we can. That's the plan. Well, we can come out of either consuming it really. You even need to use a lighting feed. Like, in the desperate times and desperate situation, if he doesn't want us to make damage and move the furniture, even if we can find any feed, just like a socket or something, we'll put in a fuse spur, have a fuse spur, like an unswitched fuse spur, powering the lighting. There's 3 light fittings. Whatever cable we find, we'll come off. We'll come off it, bounce around for light fittings. We just need to get a permanent to it, get a kinetic switch receiver, and we'll just do them all with wireless switches. They're easy, so easy.
Feed in and out to the light.
Feed in and out, literally, feed in and out. Yeah.
So remember, you just press the button and link it to the switch.
Yeah. I've just got my camera underneath that floorboard there. Let's have a look. Yeah. So what I'm checking is, yeah, there's a VIR cable there running from that length of the house to that length of the house. We've got to rewire the downstairs lighting, there's no question about it. The upstairs is a lot more bearable, it's actually working. That's the video from underneath the floorboard. It looks like it is just laying there across the top of the ceiling. And it doesn't look like there's any noggins that are obvious. Yeah, look, I can see right down there. I can see some nice shiny grey insulation. So that's something wrapped around a pipe, something we'll probably choose to not touch. But yeah, it is going to be an absolute mission tomorrow. I can say that much for certain. I'm telling you, we've got some plans for tomorrow to make things a bit easier and some tips and tricks that we want to share with you. So part 3 is going to be pretty saucy, so try not to miss it. See you there. Take care.